Then there are stories that are about families, and the family, they're either like vicious, revengeful, or they are scheming and show no concern over their parents, their aging parents. Then there are stories about the working class. Okay, that's the mask, the opera singer, you know. The working class, you see, there's a line that keeps repeating because two stories are about him. Okay, and the line that struck me is that it's always described as Suzanne of the unprogressive order. That line appears in both the stories. Again, this notion that they are vacant, you know, not very different from the Gregory Malcolm stories, for example. Okay, and then there's the story of the professional class, you know, and again here the story is about she's depicted as a cruel, small-minded. So in all these stories, the characters are not likable. I'm not saying that's a flaw or anything, but I'm just saying that quality seems to stand out when I read all these stories, and I'm wondering what does that say about them? Is he suggesting something about Singapore society at that time?
I don't know if I query that slightly because I've got a real fascination with the schoolboy in the first story. I feel a great deal of sympathy with him, and maybe part of that is my, I don't know, love of, it seems a miracle that you could be a flaneur in Singapore, really. I quite like that element. I'd say with the thing about the character Wong Lu, I mean that's quite interestingly textually, isn't it, that Arthur recycled this bit from an undergraduate story in 1962, or he probably wrote it in 1961, and then reuses it in this story for 1978, and changes it into a very, very different story. It becomes part of a kind of, it's almost like a return to myth or whatever, so I'm not quite sure. But I mean, he seems sympathetic, doesn't he? And obviously Sue Main is another character perhaps you could feel drawn to. The ideal Singaporean seems to be a partially disabled person or something, or a mentally handicapped person.
Wong Lu is described as nondescript. It's described as, diddling and so on, all these phrases that sort of are associated with him. Wong Lu of the unprogressive order, and the idea of the mask, so.
I think it's fair to say that they are limited, but I don't think you could say that they're not loved. Like, you mentioned those characteristics of Wong Lu as being limited as a person, being played, not having great thoughts.
Yeah.
But I think there's a recurrent male character in several of these pieces. The person who is in trouble, or who has bad things happen to them, and basically has agency removed from them. Whether it's Wong Lu, or whether it's the eldest son in the Effect of Good Dinner, or whether it's Wong Lu in both versions, in fact, or the guy in Five Foot Ten. There seems to be a common theme of a character who is stuck and has no options. And he's a limited character, he's a flawed character. In some cases he's a retarded character. But I don't think there's a sense of a lack of love or affection for the character. Just like this through a lens of his usual detachment that he brings to hold in.
I think maybe that's what I'm trying to get at. That it's not that we don't love the character, we don't like the character, but that I don't think it's not, as you said, they're detached, you think about the Noon at 5 o'clock story and the idea of trying to escape, and the last line strikes me that, even the walls there's this kind of destabilizing effect, like the second last sentence, the walls did not look solid. We always enjoyed it. So it's fascinating.
Sadly, we've been tipped the nod. We might have
to
finish.
All right,
that's a nice bit to finish.
Yeah, so I'm glad we talked about his stories and got different perspectives. I want to end with a few announcements. First of all, thanks to NUS Press for organizing this launch and for sponsoring the refreshments outside. A few announcements: you can purchase this collection of short stories, Noon at 5 o'clock. It's at a discounted price of $15 instead of the usual $18. I'm not paid to say this, okay? I'm just asked to give these announcements. Okay, they also have this collection of poetry, also published by NUS Press. It's $25 now instead of $32. Okay, so if you haven't gotten a copy, you will enjoy it. Go read it and share with us your thoughts. We'll hang around here, so if you have questions, come up and talk to us. If you have to go, feel free to.
Oh, and can I say as well, thank you to Choo, who was responsible. It's his a painting of Arthur's that's on the front, which in some ways I think is not the least important or attractive element of this book. So thank you very much again, Choo, for doing that. Yeah. Yes, well, here's thinking. Yes, that would be
the
wonderful.
next collection that Angus recovers. Okay, thank you very much for your time.